Hi, this is Gayle with BERNINA of Naperville. And have you always wondered what the kickback feature is? Or maybe you haven't always wondered. Maybe you just got a new BERNINA 990 and now all of a sudden you're all about learning all of the new features of this machine. Well, let me tell you something. The kickback feature is found not only on the new B990, but on the 770 Plus, or those 770s that have been upgraded to Plus, the BERNINA 790 Pro, and our Q Series sit-down models, and those include the Q16, the Q16 Plus, and the Q20. Let's also have a look at some of the do's and don'ts and things to expect when you're using this feature.
Let's start over at our BERNINA 770 Quilters Edition. This is a BERNINA 770 Plus, but this would also work with your 770s that have been updated to Plus. So you can see here, I'm using my external BERNINA stitch regulator foot, la, 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 la. And when I want to stop, I can just use my foot control and press down or let up. But using the kickback feature, which is this little heel tap presser foot picture there on the screen, allows me to engage a window that is going to stay on my screen while I have the Kickstarter function engaged. So now every time I hit the heel tap of my foot control, it will start the BERNINA stitch regulator just like a button. Like some of you might remember the dimmer switches on your cars for your headlights, right? That was down there on the floor pan of your car. So it doesn't act like a foot control, it acts like a button. So you heel tap to start the stitch regulation, and then you're going to heel tap to stop the stitch regulation. But here's one thing that I do that I always forget. If you actually press on the foot control like a regular foot control, it's going to disengage the kickback feature. So what this does is it goes back to like normal sewing. So you might be asking, why do I have this window? And if I close it, like if I press the exit button, I'm out of this kickback feature. But why can't I just exit this and still have the kickback feature engaged? And that's simply because it needs to stop the brain, because now our heel tap feature is making the machine go. It's turning on the stitch regulation and the motor, and then heel tap again, it's turning off the stitch regulation. It's like a toggle switch. If I exit out of that window, now my heel tap becomes needle up, needle down, or whatever I have programmed my heel tap feature to be. And don't forget, we have a totally separate video on what the heel tap feature is on your BERNINA machine, regardless of the model. With that said, let's take our attention to our BERNINA 990. You can see here a very similar window pops up, and you've got a little X button there in the corner. Now, this works just the same as on our other machines, only on the BERNINA 990, we do have that BERNINA integrated stitch regulation as well as the external regulation. And it works the same. It doesn't matter if it's BISR or BSR. So if you start the kickstart feature, the heel tap is going to start the motor of the machine with the stitch regulation. Heel tap again, stops the motor. If you press on the foot control like a foot control, it's going to disengage that Kickstarter window. The window goes away. Also, if you think you're supposed to exit out of it and the screen is just a warning, then you're going to lose the heel tap capabilities. It's not a flaw, it's just how the machine works. I hope that makes sense. Now, when you're in the Kickstarter screen, regardless of what machine you're in, let's use our 990 as an example, you will want to turn to your external needle up down button if you want to put the needle down or bring the needle up. That might be something that can help you out a little bit. But as long as that screen is up that says, hey, this is how the Kickstarter works, You're going to keep that screen on so that you can heel tap, start, heel tap, stop. Just in case you need a refresher about the Q Series 16, 16 Plus, or the 20, we've got a programmable foot control, but we also have the start stop button when we have the foot control plugged in that allows that heel tap feature to be our start stop button to engage the motor and our stitch regulation.
Now, wasn't that easy? Are you ready to give this a try? And don't forget, with everything new, there's always some little bumps in the road. And, I'm forever on my new 990 selecting the cutter instead of the threader or the needle up down instead of the threader. You know how it goes. I'm right there with you. So if you want to see more tutorials and watch some fun stuff and whatever it is, Bernina wise, we've got it for you right on our Bernina of Naperville YouTube channel. And it's easy to find. It's youtube.com/Bernina of Naperville. And there you can like, comment, and subscribe. Happy kicking.